My guess is you clicked on this video because you're looking for a solution for your vehicle for CarPlay. And I'm here to tell you how you can get CarPlay in your vehicle. My guess is you probably have a older car like myself. I will say this, that I've tried a lot of different options for CarPlay in my vehicle. I purchased the Android head units that look OEM to make the radios look factory. In fact, I think I've purchased multiple of those type of units. And I even on Amazon purchased the CarPlay rear view mirror. I think I purchased 2 of those and always had issues. I even went to Best Buy and picked up a Sony AX8000. I believe that was the unit. Had CarPlay, and the installer, if I recall, had some issues with the steering wheel controls, trying to get those to function. But I want to rewind back to the actual Android units, and it's just they never worked properly. Once it was the backup camera, the next was CarPlay. I couldn't make phone calls. I just spent a lot of time with these head units, and I came to the conclusion, particularly at least for my vehicle, I have a 2016 Nissan Altima SL that I think is fully loaded, but I came to the conclusion that I need some kind of standalone head unit, and that's the direction I was going with the rear view mirror, but it was just so small. The screen was just so small, and I didn't like to have an additional camera in the back of my vehicle. It really made it look kind of trashy, if you have asked me. It just didn't make it look clean. Otherwise, and that's how I arrived to the W103, the Carpuride W103. And now for me, I like a system that is clean, and I also like a system that looks factory. I look like a system, if you get in my car, it doesn't look like I've done anything aftermarket. And it really had me thinking of newer cars on the market, and they all have this tablet sticking out the dash design. You know what I'm talking about. And I thought to myself, I want to go for that same design. And I actually think I was able to pull it off. But that's not why you're here. You're here to get some feedback of the Carpuride W103. And just before we get into the details, I feel that they kind of thought of everything with this head unit. You can actually plug in your iPhone to enable CarPlay. We can use the aux if you want to use the aux. There's even a port in the back for an external mic. You could even add a backup camera if your car does not have one. So a lot of different options that I think they kind of thought of everything. And I'll go with some more details with this head unit so you can equip yourself to make a decision if you want to pick this guy up. There's even a connectivity function called Bluetooth transmitter, which is similar to FM transmitter. So if you kind of already have Bluetooth audio, you can kind of just ditch the aux jack. Now, there is something I want to kind of talk about a little bit later in the video that I wasn't too crazy about the head unit, so stay tuned to the end to get those details. But I think this head unit has a really good value, particularly for me. I picked mine up around Prime Day, so I got a pretty good deal, but I just love the 10-inch screen of the unit itself. It kind of reminds me of the new Nissan Altima, where the screen actually sits above the actual air vent. Now, don't get me wrong, the new Altima actually has a 12-inch screen, but the W103 is no slouch with a 10-inch display, which is a pretty big screen in my opinion. In any case, I kind of sat for a long time and I thought to myself, how do I get that similar look? And I thought to myself, I can get the Carpuride W103 and make my vehicle look factory. And I would say definitely the new Altima gave me inspiration. So I thought to myself, you know what? Let me go past my local Walmart and pick up a Dremel and make a cutout that fits the actual display. And I'll be honest with you guys, it worked like a charm, and it looks really good in my car. And I actually didn't have to buy a new car because that was the next direction that I was going. But right now, interest rates are really crazy, and the price of used cars are kind of a little bit outrageous as well. But let me kind of start off with the actual display. Like I mentioned, it's a really nice display. The resolution is 1280 by 480, and it gets pretty bright. I don't know the exact numbers, but when the sun is blazing on a 10-inch screen of the W103, the screen, it's still visible. And, you know, I really haven't had any issues. The W103 does give the user the ability to adjust the screen brightness fairly quickly, which is pretty nice. But overall, the screen is very nice, has a IPS touchscreen, so it's very responsive. The screen itself actually can adjust itself, the brightness based on the lighting environment. So if it's nighttime, the screen will dim itself as opposed to during the day. The screen will actually get brighter, which is very nice. Other than that, out of the box, we do have two mounting options available, which is the angle adjustment mount that you can adjust 180 degrees. And then we have the telescope mount, I think that's what I want to call it. We can actually suction cup to a window shield, or we can use a suction cup plate with the adhesive to put on our dash, and you can use it that way. Otherwise, it does have 4 screw ports that you can use to screw into your dash if you want to go that direction. But I wouldn't go that direction because you do run the risk of damaging your dash. So that's not the direction I would go. Otherwise, in terms of setting this guy up, it's very easy. And if you're going to connect this with the Bluetooth transmitter feature, we would connect the head unit similar to how we would connect, let's say, an iPhone to Bluetooth in our vehicle. So it's pretty much the same setup. Just search for the Bluetooth connection, and that's pretty much it. We would just have to hit the Bluetooth transmit button from the W103 home screen and then choose Bluetooth. I would say for the most part, the sound quality is good. It's not the best, but it is really good. And I feel in this mode, there are several levels of feedback. But I will say for the best quality, I would suggest plugging in your iPhone into the unit itself. There's a USB port on the back of the W103. Now with this direction, you're going to want to plug it into the W103 into the vehicle aux, so you can really get that top-notch audio. I would not recommend using a FM transmitter. In my life, with this kind of activity, overall I just had issues with it, but I will say, I guess it's necessary to use an FM transmitter if you don't have an aux jack or Bluetooth audio in your vehicle, or if you don't have an iPod connection. You're kind of limited to the FM transmitter. I guess if you have like one of those old school tape things, you can go that direction as well. But you do have 6 different options you can save in terms of open stations. So if one becomes occupied by a local station, you can just select another one. One side note I will say, I hope I can actually find a matte screen protector. The W103 is a fingerprint magnet. Otherwise, this does support Android Audio, although it kind of puzzles me why anyone would actually use Android. In my opinion, iOS is the best. Now, one other feature that this guy has is AirPlay. So if you wanted to, let's say, watch a movie using AirPlay, you can definitely do that. The thing I did notice is you do need to disengage CarPlay to get AirPlay to work. So just kind of keep that in mind. And just for full transparency, I haven't used this feature. Now there is an SD card slot on the back of the W103. So if the music subscription thing is not your thing or your cup of tea, this is available to you. Otherwise, the unit itself does have its own UI, and I haven't had a chance to use it because I'm always in CarPlay. So I will say the nice thing is when you actually turn your vehicle on, it just connects to CarPlay, and it takes about 20 seconds and begins playing the last song that the W103 was playing last before you turned your car off. With that said, when the vehicle is in Bluetooth connectivity mode, there is no way, if your car is equipped with it, to use the steering wheel controls. So if you're someone that uses steering wheel controls, the W103 does not support that. For the 10-inch screen, you would have to use the screen itself to make your selections. Other than that, I didn't mention this, but we do have the option to use a flash drive as well to play music on the W103. So a lot of options to get this guy up and running. If you want to get this guy up and running, it does use USB-C. The W103 does come with a 2-year warranty, and that's a lot because a lot of technology today only comes with just a 1-year warranty. And I think that's what kind of sets the W103 apart from the competition, because there's actually a lot of cheaper options out there, which look very similar to the W103. There's a unit that retails for like $118, and it actually has 4 stars, which is actually not that bad. But I would say the Carpuride has been around for a minute, and they also have a ton of other products available, so that really made me comfortable with making this selection. Otherwise, there's a ton of apps that you can use with CarPlay. I primarily use the podcast app. I use Apple Music, and I have just been kind of flirting with Waze for my GPS. Prior to that, I was using Apple Maps, but kind of liking Waze. I think the reason why I was using Apple Maps a lot because it kind of connects with my calendar. So, just love that ecosystem. Made a few calls with the W103, and my wife said I sound kind of echoed, so I might have to buy an external microphone for my head unit itself. I think I can actually position a mic over the driver's side seat, and I should get better results. So that might be an addition that I add later, but in today's world, we don't make that many calls. I think the only person that might call you is your girl or your wife, but maybe your mama from time to time, but no one's really calling you in this day and age, so probably not press. Other than that, the actual internal mic is actually on the front of the unit itself, the W103, and it's on the right-hand side. I'm not sure why they put it on the right-hand side, but wish the microphone was on the left-hand side, maybe a little bit closer to the driver, or even put it in the middle. Otherwise, I can't think of anything else. Can't think of anything else. Oh, in the box, you do get the 2 mounts that I discussed a little bit earlier, with the telescope mount that attaches to your window. Oh no, to your dashboard with the suction cup plate, or you can attach it to your window. And then we have the other one that has that 80-degree vertical rotation that can stick on the dash itself. To install it, you would actually just need to find a flat surface in your vehicle, and then use the adhesive foam. I'm going to call it the adhesive foam double tape that's included in the box itself, and you should be fine. Also in the box, you do get the cigarette lighter charger or power adapter. It's not really charging. You get an aux cable, you get a backup camera. Apparently there's a model that doesn't come with the backup camera, and then there's one that comes with the backup camera, so just kind of keep that in mind. And that's pretty much it. You probably get some instructions that I didn't read. So if you guys actually want me to do a video regarding the installation, let me know. I already did the installation of mine, so I can just kind of do like walkthroughs and go over the details of how to establish the look that I did in my Nissan. Other than that, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. We just hit 1,000 subs, so thank you to all you guys out there for subscribing to the channel, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one later.